If you are a YouTuber or just starting YouTube in general and you need some graphics, thumbnails, banners, logos, all that jazz, if you need anything and don't know how to do it, make sure to hit me up on Twitter. I do them for cheap, and I hope to see you guys all in my DMs as I'm trying to get into GFX. What is up, YouTube, and welcome to part 2 of 3 bold predictions for each team 2018. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, I recommend you go watch that first. Just remember, keep in mind that these are a little out there and some of these will make no sense and you'll probably look at me like I'm stupid, but these are bold predictions. Keep that in mind, please, before you roast me in the comments about this not happened, that's not happening. Like, it's just for fun, and I want to go back and look after the season's over, like what kind of dumb stuff I said that was going to happen and wasn't even coming close to happening. So I do hope you guys enjoy. I have 6 different teams in here today. Make sure to go ahead and leave 6 other teams we could do, and then we'll do a part 3 after this one tomorrow. So first we got Dwight Howard returning to Orlando Magic form. So Dwight Howard, you know, ever since going to or leaving the Magic, he hasn't put up the numbers similar to what he did in his Magic days, and that's fine. He was the number 1 option there in Orlando, and he's always been now kind of a second option to James Harden, and in Atlanta he was like the 4th option or third to 4th option. Now he's with the Hornets. I could see him being around the second option, maybe at least the second option. Definitely Kemba's the guy there, but maybe he puts up 18 and 11 or something like that. You never know. That's just my first poll prediction for the Charlotte Hornets. Just saying. I don't know. Maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. Next, we got the Hornets making a huge jump in the standings and becoming a top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference. So the reason why I say this is they drafted Malik Monk, who should be a good sharpshooter. Whatever they decide to start him or keep him off the bench, he should be a good sharpshooter for him. They have Dwight Howard now, which one of my predictions is he could get somewhere close to his Orlando days. Probably not to his Orlando days, but close. And Kemba Walker will be better than ever this year. I think he'll be really good. MKG might come on his own now. Cody Zeller's there. Frank Kaminsky. They just have a solid roster top to bottom, and I just feel like that they could make a huge jump this season. And that's my other prediction for this team. So just keep that in mind. These are bold. But this one is probably the boldest of them all. Kemba Walker will be an MVP candidate. Do I think he'll come close to winning it? No, I don't. I don't think he'll be a I don't think he'll be snubbed. How do you say it? Backup like James Harden is every year, like second. He's second in MVP, like nothing like that. I feel like he'll be like 6th to 7th, close to that in MVP candidate. Like just something, you know what I'm trying to say. Like I'm kind of twisting my words around, and just like Kemba Walker's a good player, maybe he makes a huge jump and he becomes an MVP candidate. I don't know. It's a little out there, isn't it? So you're probably looking at me like, what the heck is this guy talking about? But like I said, these are going to be a little out there. Next, we're going to start out with the Toronto Raptors, and I feel like Jonas Valanciunas will be traded before the deadline this season. And the reason being is because they did have Jonas Valanciunas coming off the bench last season in the series against the Cavs, which I didn't really understand. Honestly, I didn't pay attention much to that series because it was, swept. They got swept, and it wasn't that fun to watch. Kyle Lowry was out and stuff like that. So I don't know what they'll trade him for or what they'll get back in return. And I'm guessing it'll be equal value, and maybe it'll help them, compete against LeBron and Celtics and the Wizards. You know what I mean? But I just feel like Jonas Valanciunas will be traded. I just could see it happening. I don't know why. I just feel like he'll be traded this season. Just my gut feeling, I guess. Next, we got the Toronto Raptors getting the number 1 seed. I've said it time and time again. I feel like the Raptors are the most slept-on team in the Eastern Conference, honestly. They're a very good team. They, always do bad in the playoffs for some reason. Kyle Lowry never plays well in the playoffs. DeRozan doesn't play much better. But maybe they do, they go regular season form like they always do, and they surprise a lot of people and get the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. They're going to have Serge Ibaka back. They're going to have Jonas Valanciunas whenever they trade him, is my opinion. Just my guess is what they'll do. DeRozan and Lowry are starting to understand that this is their prime of their career and need to get something done. Maybe they lead this team to a number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Next, we got the Raptors and LeBron's run of making it to the finals. So the Raptors meet up against LeBron in the playoffs again. And somehow, some way, they beat him. I don't know. I don't really have any facts to back it up. They took them to 6 2 years ago. This is highly unlikely this is happening, but I just had to put it out there. The Raptors, in LeBron's run and make it to the finals. I don't know. Maybe the Raptors get the number 1 seed, and then they beat them up. Then they meet the Cavs in the final or the playoffs, and they beat them in 7. I don't know. I don't really have any facts to back it up. It's just kind of a bold prediction. It's out there. I know. It's way out there. Going against LeBron is something that you should never do. I don't recommend it. Next, Kevin Love will be traded by the trade deadline. I feel like this is definitely something that could happen because the Cavs seem to be in the process of building under the assumption of LeBron James is leaving. Why would you keep Kevin Love? He's like 29, and this is going to be the top. His trade value is going to be the top right here. After this season, you wait till the offseason, I think his trade value is going to drop tremendously. The Cavs need to trade him by the trade deadline, which I think will be done. I have no doubt in my mind. I'm very confident in this prediction. I think he will be traded by the trade deadline because if LeBron James really is leaving, why would they keep Kevin Love on the roster? Just my opinion. And I think he has like 2 years left on his contract, maybe 1 year after this. I'm not sure. But next, Derrick Rose wins Sixth Man of the Year. So we all know Derrick Rose took that massive pay cut, $25 million to $2 million a year. Jeez, that is a massive pay cut. Anyway, we know that the Cavs have Isaiah Thomas. Whether or not Isaiah Thomas is ready for the beginning of the season or not is yet to be seen. But Derrick Rose seems like he will be the legit sixth man of this team. And I feel like that there's a huge chance that Derrick Rose does it well and becomes a great sixth man, and he even wins Sixth Man of the Year this year. I could definitely see it happening. I think everybody in the whole wide world could see this happening, and I just think that's going to happen. I think Derrick Rose is going to be a great sixth man. He's going to be coming off the bench, provide a huge energy boost for the Cavaliers, and he's going to win Sixth Man of the Year this year. I don't know what stats he's going to put up, but I think he will. Now, this one is way out there. I don't recommend this prediction at all, but I just had to put it there because this is bold. Bolder than bold, honestly. LeBron James doesn't make the NBA Finals. Like, can you imagine that LeBron doesn't make the Finals? When's the last time you heard LeBron didn't make the Finals? Oh, yeah, that was like 7 years ago because this dude has been in the Finals 7 straight times. Why would it stop now? I have no clue. But maybe he doesn't make it this year. I'm just saying, because 8 Finals appearances would be absolutely insane. Maybe someone stops him this time so he doesn't make the Finals. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that one. I don't really like it, but I had to put it in here. Steven Adams wins Most Improved Player. So Steven Adams, is a solid center for their, I almost said their Orlando Magic, but the Oklahoma City Thunder, obviously, he was kind of the second option there in OKC. I keep wanting to say Orlando for some reason. Anyway, but Victor Oladipo, I guess, kind of was a second option. Steven Adams was that third kind of guy. But he can put up some nice dunks here and there and stuff like that. And maybe he just provides like this huge energy boost that becomes the third option that the Thunder and the Russell Westbrook, Paul George and Russell Westbrook really need, and he becomes that guy and wins Most Improved Player. Maybe he puts up a stat line like 15 and 11 or something like that. I think that would be very good for Steven Adams. Next, Paul George re-signs with the Oklahoma City Thunder. So a lot of people are saying Paul George is just a one-year rental. He's leaving. He's going to the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm not sure. That is obviously something that can happen, and a lot of people are expecting it to happen. But Paul George, I feel like, might re-sign with the Oklahoma City Thunder depending on how the Thunder do this season. And I think the Thunder will do well. Paul George and Russell Westbrook, I think, will coexist very, very well. I think they'll be great together. And I think it'll happen. And I think he will resign with the Thunder after this season. Just a bold prediction because a lot of people already have him written down going to the Lakers in 2018, which, I could see happening, but this is just my guess, I guess. Yeah, you see this and you're like, what is going on here? The Warriors in the Western Conference. The Thunder make the NBA Finals. I don't know how it will happen. Let's just say the Timberwolves and the Warriors meet up in the second round or something like that. And they beat the Warriors somehow. They beat them somehow. We don't know how good the Timberwolves will be or if they will even be able to come close to beating the Warriors. They do. But the Timberwolves go, Jimmy Butler gets hurt, Andrew Wiggins gets hurt, and now it's just Karl-Anthony Towns there. And I don't know, Paul George and Russell Westbrook can capitalize on that and make the finals. That's my best judgment or something like that. I don't know, man. That's just what went through my head when I made this prediction, I guess. Next, we got LaMarcus Aldridge on the San Antonio Spurs returning to Portland form. So, as we all know, Marcus Aldridge has not been as great as he was since leaving the Portland Trail Blazers, which is my favorite team, and I was very pissed when LaMarcus Aldridge left. But now I don't care because he literally hasn't had any success since leaving, because that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to go win a championship, and they haven't done that yet. I'm glad the Warriors are beating you guys every year. But he put up stat line of 20 and 10, and, you know, ever since going to the Spurs, he just really hasn't done it. I think he's put up like 16 and something like that. But maybe he comes close, puts up 19 and 11, and, you know, something like that. LaMarcus Aldridge returns to Portland form. Just something I can maybe see happening. Next, we got Greg Popovich retiring after this year. Stepping down from head coach and retiring. Now, we really don't know when Greg Popovich is going to retire. Manu Ginobili, I expected to retire last year, and he didn't. I'm not saying that this is going to happen 100%. This is why this is a bold prediction, because no one really knows. Will he retire after this season? I don't know. No one knows. Except for Greg Popovich, I guess. But it's a prediction of mine. Maybe he retires after this season. We really don't know where Greg Popovich's head's at. And we don't know if he will or not, or when he will. But maybe after this season he decides, you know, to hang it up. I don't know. Something like that. Next, we got Kawhi Leonard playing point guard all year. So you know how James Harden made his transition from playing shooting guard to point guard, being that dominant ball handler. Tony Parker will be out, is expected to be out the start of the season. They could start Patty Mills. They did sign Rudy Gay, though. The reason why I think they signed Rudy Gay is to let Rudy Gay start at that small forward spot, and Kawhi Leonard will play that point guard position. I just feel like that is something that could definitely happen, and he'll just take it and run with it. And I feel like Kawhi Leonard will put up great stats being the point guard there in San Antonio. And even when Tony Parker comes back, I think they'll still just let Kawhi Leonard run that point guard spot. Just a bold prediction of mine that they do start Rudy Gay and they let Kawhi run the point guard position. I don't know, something like that. Next, we got the Clippers being better without Chris Paul. Could you really see that happening? Like Chris Paul, you know who Chris Paul is? Yes, I do know who Chris Paul is. He's a really good point guard, obviously. And he left the Clippers. Now, everybody thought, wow, the Clippers are going to suck now. But what they got in return for Chris Paul is actually really good. And they signed Gallinari, and they signed Milos Teodosic, who's supposed to be a really good European player. But maybe they're better without Chris Paul. Maybe they do better without him. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. That's actually going to be really cool if they could be better without him. But that's something we'll just have to wait and see when the season starts. The Clippers do look pretty decent on paper. Now, this one, you're probably sitting there laughing. I'm laughing right now, too. DeAndre Jordan shooting threes. So, you know how every big man has been working on shooting threes this offseason? Yeah, like, there's been videos, like Hassan Whiteside's posted videos, I believe. JaVale McGee has posted videos. And Andre Drummond has posted videos. Even just DeAndre Jordan. I haven't heard any reports that DeAndre Jordan has been working on a three ball, but maybe secretly, low-key, DeAndre Jordan has been working on his three-point shot, and he's just going to come in this season and start shooting threes. I'm just laughing right now because this is a crazy prediction. There's been like zero reports of him shooting threes, but that's just my prediction. Anyway, next we got Blake Griffin winning MVP. So Blake Griffin is obviously the sole number one option there in Los Angeles now. I mean, he signed the huge extension. Everybody expected him to leave after Chris Paul did, but he decided to stay. I get it. He wanted the money, and I understand that. I love money. But anyway, Blake Griffin, you know, has always put up good stats with Chris Paul. He's always put up like a 22 and something like that. But with being the number one option, who knows what Blake Griffin can do? He's in the prime age where where players are supposed to be in their prime. Maybe he puts up 28 and 12 or something like that, something crazy like that. But we'll have to wait and see about that. And even if the dude can even stay healthy, we'll have to wait and see about that. That's it for me, guys. Let me know what you guys thought and how crazy some of these predictions were. And what other 6 teams would you guys like to see that I have not done yet? That's it for me, guys. We're so close to 900 subscribers, so if you've not subscribed, please do so. This is Crushables. Please leave a like if you did enjoy. And I'm saying peace, y'all. Have a good day.